Hello, and welcome to Coach Chloe, the journey to self love. This is the seventh episode of our series, The Journey of Self Love. Today's title is Don't Define Me. I create my definition. So, we're going to continue on the journey of our dreams and how to create the life we want. In the last episode, we talked about how do you keep dreaming? Life is filled with disappointments, disillusionments, discouragements. These things kill our dreams. They derail us, they take us away from the things that bring us joy. When we keep dreaming, we reimagine life. We rewrite new stories. Those new stories are new thoughts we intentionally create. Why? Because our thoughts shape how we live and how we see the world every day. Who defines you? Whose voice is in your head? What are your thoughts? That's what we're going to be talking about today. Who defines you? Who is the voice in your head? What are your thoughts? And where do your thoughts originate from? Where did they come from? How did they get there? So here's what I'm going to say. People tell us how to live our lives. Society tells us how to live our lives. The media tells us how to live our lives. Social media, especially, tells us how to live our lives. We are being influenced every day by people, by media, by our relationships, professional and personal. We are being influenced by what someone said, or how they said it, or what they didn't say. We are being influenced by how someone looked at us or didn't look at us. No matter who you are, we are all being influenced every day throughout the day. We could also be influenced by a song we hear, or a place we've been, or by something we are doing that reminds us of something. Think about it. Have you heard a song and it reminded you of an incident or a person? That's the power of influence. Every day we are influenced, and our thoughts are dictated by what we're influenced by. Others are defining us. We do things a certain way to please, or we do things a certain way so that we are defying what someone is telling us to do. Um, I have so many experiences in my life where I've done something and I thought to myself, well, I'm not going to be like that person. So then I overcompensate and I show up in a way that's not authentic to me. So, here's what I'm saying. How do we define who we are? The authentic, real, true self. Sometimes, I have conversations and I just don't know when someone's showing up in their truest self because I hear the influence of other people, of what someone else said. And, especially when I'm coaching people, I always say to them or ask this question, but what do you say? But what matters to you? What about you versus what he said, or she said, or they said, or this is what I heard? We research what's going on with things outside ourselves because the things outside ourselves impact us. It's exciting news. What influences us begins to define us. Without knowing it, it begins to shape who we are, how we think, our belief systems, our biases, our assumptions. So it's time to research our own lives. What has shaped your life? Who are the people that have shaped your life? Who are the people that are shaping your life? What are the things that are shaping you right now? Things that you're even not pleased about the way you're showing up. Who are those people? What are they saying that's causing you to believe a certain thing about you, or causing you to define yourself in that way? What has shaped who you are today? What is inside you that has allowed that thing to shape you? Most of the time, we don't even realize what's shaping us because we don't get an opportunity to define who we are. So, how do we begin to reshape the life we want? How do we define ourselves? It's time to create our own definition. Like Walt Disney said, we have to dream it. If you can dream it, you can do it. If you can dream it, you can do it. So, everybody, let's start to daydream. Right? When I first started daydreaming, we all started as little children, and I had a vivid imagination. So I started daydreaming about the world that I wanted to have, because the world that I was in, I was not happy about. But the more I created that world that I wanted to have, I began to step into that world. I began to become that world because that was me. It wasn't about who was doing something to me or who was saying something to me. Now, let me say this here. I didn't get it right the first time. I didn't. It's, trial and error. The more I tried to daydream about the life I wanted, the more I started getting used to it. So here's my challenge for you today. And I'm not going to leave you with a lot of points of, 3 points or 2 points, but I'm going to leave you with one challenge for today. Buy a journal and create a title for your new story. And the title should be the definition of who you are. Then begin to write the story you want to live. Begin to define you, not the one you've been living, not the one you are living, but the story that you want to live. Not what others are saying about you, not what you heard on social media or the news, or not what someone else's life is like. Don't be like someone else. Be you. This is your story. This is your journey to self love. This is your definition of you. Now, when I talk about daydream and what do you want in your life and how do you want to shape your life, I'm not talking about a big house or a top of the range car or maybe a top position for work. I'm talking about your happiness, our happiness, because that's the one thing that is at risk every day. Our happiness is on the line every day, and it takes a small little thing to take our happiness away. Create a story that will bring you joy and get you to smile at yourself even before you get out of bed in the morning. So you can say to yourself when you get to bed at night, today I smiled at myself. Here's a quote from me. Um, your story is changing, and you are the storyteller of your story. Let me say that again. Your story is changing, and you are the storyteller of your story. What story do you want to say about yourself? How will you define you? When I went through so many incidents, so many disillusions and disappointments, and so many things, they say bad things happen to good people, but good things happen to bad people. So these are a lot of bad incidents that had happened in my life. And so what I did was I started journaling. I didn't journal about just only what the bad things were, but I also journaled about how I began to see the new me, the me that I wanted to live and I wanted to be. And before long, I had created this journal that was, quite a few chapters. No intention of writing a book. That journal became my book. That journal is now a published book, Memoirs of a Counselor. That journal was my place of healing. That began to heal me. Now, I know when we write journals, and when we journal, we tend to write, oh, this is how I'm feeling, and this is what's going on, and that's fine. But start thinking about the future. You can start writing about, this is how I feel right now. However, here's how I see myself. Here's the world that I see myself in, and begin to shape your life. Um, what you tell your brain is what your brain remembers. Are you ready to create your definition of you? This is going to change your life. This is going to elevate your self image. This is going to elevate the image of how you want to be. This is going to cause you to get up every morning with the energy to smile. Because here's what really matters: who you are becoming is greater than who you were before this moment. Please go ahead and click or drop in the chat one thing that you are excited about on this journey. One thing that you are excited about in creating your new story, in defining you, a definition of you. You are unique. You have greatness in you. There is no one else like you on this planet. There is only one you. So begin to define you, because nobody else can do that. The next episode is something fascinating. It's about the powerful declarations that are inside of you that have not been declared as yet. It's waiting to be spoken. And that is the power of self talk. So get ready for another life changing episode. Define yourself. Don't let anyone else define you. You define yourself. Create your definition.